Welcome to our Thursday night live stream.
I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are two crazy ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and then every Monday, we go live on Keto on the Couch, where we just kind of talk about what's going on in our lives for the week.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now, we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, in that way every single time my new shirt from Autumn comes in, you'll be alerted to it. We bought this in Utah. This is actually from Triple J, I think, came up with this statement. And happy birthday, Triple J.
Yep.
Actually, his birthday this week, but I loved that thought. The sicker we get, the richer they get. And I was like, whoa, when I saw that's on I Am Keto Strong, she sells the shirts, but she had them at the conference, but then they ran out of my size. So I ordered one there, and then it just came in the mail today, so I was so excited. And also the bacon shirt. Keith had the same bacon shirt that I have, that it was like, I'm gonna make a decision. The choice is bacon, yes, or the choice is not bacon, wrong, bacon.
Paul's here. Said
Hey, Paul.
First time catching a live. Should be interesting if I don't fall asleep waiting.
Oh,
hate when that happens.
Sorry about that. Can we see us, Joe? So that there you go.
There you go.
I like to see, that green dot.
I know. But I can only have, unless you're going to let me buy more TVs to have more screens.
No, please don't. But I still can't see.
I know, but I need Nightbot open.
Oh, okay. We have Nightbot open. What does that mean?
We have Nightbot open because we're going to do a couple giveaways. Because we cleaned out our pantry. Or not our pantry, our linen closet.
Oh my gracious. Maybe this is a message to somebody else out there. Go check your linen closet. There's all kinds of things you ain't using. Grandma don't need you to keep every single pillowcase that she ever owned.
Yeah.
Right?
We had 3 50-gallon garbage bags going to Goodwill. That's how much stuff we got rid of.
Yeah, and not only that, there was a bunch of stuff that we had that didn't even fit beds. It was like twin-size things for our children. We don't even have a twin-size bed.
So anyway, we cleaned out the linen closet, and then I was able to put all of my keto chow in there. And we have a lot of keto chow.
Yeah.
And as I was going through, we still have a bunch of these extra keto chows.
Yeah.
That were given to us to give away.
Let's do it.
They said you can keep some of it, but we have so much keto chow. I'm going to give it away. Now, I am going to let you know, some of these are probably past the best by date. So for example, this one was March of 2022. Doesn't mean you're going to get sick. It just means that there's a possibility that the vitamins are starting to degrade a little bit, but I'm going to tell you, they're probably not. They're actually in the middle of trying to get it extended to 3 years, but they do have to have that on there, and they weren't able to sell them anymore, so they gave them to me to give away. So we have a bunch of them. We were giving them away
now.
And, throughout vlogs, and I've got a bunch more. So we're going to do 5 of these throughout the night, where we're just gonna pick somebody who's active in the chat.
Are you active in the chat?
And we're gonna mail them out. So
let's chat it
here's
up.
what's in them. So we got a natural strawberry,
eggnog,
a strawberry,
strawberry,
a pumpkin spice caramel, root beer float.
Sorry about that.
Chocolate peanut butter, chocolate. And one of our Two Crazy Ketos wristbands.
That's the best part of the whole package.
But yeah, there's a whole bunch of them.
Let's do it.
I'm trying to create room in the house. So if you're new to our channel or new to our live streams like Paul is.
Hi, Paul.
The way we do our Thursday night live streams is it's kind of open for whatever you guys want to talk about.
What you want to talk about.
If you want to ask questions about the keto carnivore lifestyle.
Or how Joe injured his head.
That's from you hitting me in the head.
We just don't even know anymore.
I don't know. I think I hit my head in the trailer, when I was getting out of the trailer.
There you go.
I always forget to duck
The
down.
landscaping trailer.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the chat. We try to notice them. If you want to make sure that we do answer your question, go ahead and use the super chat function down below. That's a little $ sign that's in the chat thing, and when you do that and make some kind of donation, it highlights our screen, lets us know that you have a question and we can get right to that.
I saw Heath was in here and active in the chat. He's so cute. You made Joe giggle so hard, Heath, today because he saw your comment about, what was it about?
Well, no, he sent me a private text message.
Oh, about Anthony coming.
Because we did our video, we released a video of Anthony and I opening up the keto box.
Boy, howdy.
Yeah, that was an interesting box.
It really was.
And he was just like, can you please
Why
bring
did I
Anthony
have
to dinner?
Why did I have to get wrangled into that?
Because Anthony wasn't going to eat those fish skins without you.
Good Lord.
So, yeah, unfortunately, I don't think Anthony's going to come to Orlando because that is our anniversary weekend.
It is.
So we're going to spend a couple of days up there.
I don't know why the kids don't want to be on our anniversary trip.
I don't want the kids on our anniversary trip. So, yeah, we will be meeting Heath and Shelly and Shauna and I think maybe Susan.
Whoever.
And a couple other people.
Maybe Jerry?
We're going to be going
Patty?
now we're not going to be by the cruise. We're not going to be at Port Canaveral. We're going to be meeting them. I think we're going to be doing Texas State, Brazil. I'm going to be making a reservation tomorrow, probably around 5 o'clock or 5:30, and that's in Orlando.
Will that be on like a Thursday night?
It's a Thursday night. So if we do it at 5 o'clock or 5:30, that would give us enough time to still be able to do our live stream if we have enough internet, like while we're in Orlando.
And enough time to get there on Thursday, which would be
Well, we're going to go up first thing in the morning, I think.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah.
At least we know we'll be there by 5.
Yeah, we'll definitely be there by 5. And then we're going to go to Universal, I think, on Friday.
Yeah, so I think it was Bridget said that your head needs bubble wrap.
It does.
I have been voting for that for years now.
My teeth need bubble wrap too.
Yes, they do.
So go ahead and ask your questions. We're going to jump right down past everybody that was here ahead of time.
Yay.
So yesterday was interesting. While I'm scrolling through the chat, you want to tell them what we did yesterday?
We did something so ballsy, y'all. Like we were sweating a little bit. Even Joe was a little bit nervous on this one. Usually, I feel like we have really evolved as YouTubers. I used to be so scared to video anything in public. If it was outside of our house, I was like, oh my goodness, if we have a camera, I am bothering somebody. I don't want to upset anybody. I was afraid to vlog inside of a grocery store or anything. Now we're just whatever, whenever, right? But yesterday we took it to a new level. We wanted to see if you eat more when you go out to some place like a Texas Day Brazil. Do we eat a butt ton of meat more than we do when we're at home or when we're in a restaurant? Where you eat, where you order a specific ounce of steak. So I know when we go to Texas Roadhouse, for instance, I'm going to be eating, what do we get? The 20 ounce?
Either a 16 or a 20 ounce.
So I'm okay, we're getting usually for me, it'll be a 20 ounce. I usually am getting the bigger cut because I eat a lot.
Right.
So, but I
Dog's
wondered,
trying to open the door.
But I wondered to myself, when we go to some place like Texas Day Brazil, am I eating so much more? Because I think I'm eating a lot more. But because of the sequential eating presented at that restaurant, right? Because you have to wait until they come around again with more meat. So I was wondering, do we eat less than we think we actually do? So the only way for us to do that was to bring a food scale and plop it right in the middle of the table. And every single time they cut off some meat to put it in the middle with the scale and weigh it. And I'm telling you, it's so interesting. It took 4 servers, because there's different people coming around with different cuts of meat. On the 4th or 5th one, finally, one of the servers says, "What are you doing? What's going on here?" It was so funny. I won't spoil it because the vlog is coming
will be out later on, probably over the weekend sometime.
But it took some chutzpah. Let me tell you.
Sebecca put a comment. She's like, I don't know if this counts as a non-scale victory, but my body fat is at 25% now.
Wow.
It was 30 last November.
Wow. And your weight is exactly the same. That is fantastic.
That's an awesome non-scale victory.
That is absolutely a non-scale victory.
I did say Dawn in here. Dawn, we watched your first video on your channel. Congratulations. And yes, so we did make a comment the other day, hey, if you're having victories, if you're having success, you should do something. You should be spreading the word. Create a YouTube channel. And so we were really happy to see her do that.
So proud of you.
And I do want to say, with our Facebook group, we do ask people if they want to put stuff in our put a link to your channel in our Facebook.
Don't be selling nothing.
Number one, you can't be selling anything. It really does have to focus on keto or keto related things. And also, please send us a message first so that we can kind of look at it. And that is just to protect everybody in the channel. For example, today I went and I got my prescription for my glasses changed. It was a long appointment.
Well, you guys have been here.
And my prescription drastically changed. And like always, I'm unique. She's like, your prescription is unique.
Well, everybody knows you've been having a little bit of a hard time reading.
Well, it's because my prescription actually got lighter than it used to be.
Yeah.
So that's a testimony to keto. Like,
serious.
Usually you need stronger when you get older, and mine needs to go down.
We'll take it.
I'll take that. So anyway, the lady who was checking me out with purchasing the glasses, which, by the way, glasses have gotten expensive.
Really?
Especially when you need progressives. But she does keto. Because I was wearing my Proper Human Diet shirt.
How cool is that?
She does keto, but she's never heard of Dr. Berry. And
we're like, wait,
but she's had a lot of success. She's down to like 120 pounds. And the guy who sits across from her also started keto. And he took his A1C from like, I think he said it was like 8 point something. And then he was taking metformin. He got it down to like 7 or so. And then when he started keto, and now he's at like a 4.6.
Keto can do what medication cannot do.
But they were talking about like exogenous ketones and stuff, and they do use exogenous ketones, but we don't want any of that kind of stuff being sold in our group. So that's why sometimes you have some different people who do live streams just to push that kind of stuff, and we never want that to be bombarded in our group.
Well, isn't it funny? It's kind of like irony that like you're plopped down in front of somebody that like sells exogenous ketones.
Right.
And you have to kind of like, oh, okay.
And again, not that there is anything inherently wrong with exogenous ketones. They have a place. But the place is not to help you lose weight. They'll give you more cognitive function. They can give you a little bit of energy. But honestly, if you're trying to lose weight, they could actually hinder you, because that comes back to oxidative priority, and that is your body will burn off ketones before it ever gets to even carbs that you consume. So
it's good news.
That's another whole thing, unless you guys have questions about that. Patty got her new flavor, the keto brick today. Must say I don't care for it.
Really?
It does not taste like icing that I have ever had.
Wow,
that's interesting.
Good to know.
But again, taste is subjective.
True.
Let's see. Heather said I moved 3 times in 3 years. I've purged a lot.
Well, see, I want to be like Heather. I feel like I do not do that. I feel like with every move, we've like rolled it more into like a snowball of stuff. And I feel like over the years, we've just gotten more and more.
Yeah.
What is wrong with us?
I have no idea. Mary Jane said, so glad to be here tonight. I'm so off from lack of sleep. When I got up this morning, I sat in my chair waiting for the live, thinking it was keto on the couch.
Bless your heart. We've been there though. We've absolutely been there though. The sleep can really mess with you a lot.
Anthony's here, said taking a solo self-care trip to Universal this weekend, but let's plan on dinner. I need a 2K fix. We should absolutely do it. Go ahead and message me, Anthony.
I love that.
Let's definitely do that. It's funny, I was thinking about taking you up to Universal yesterday, but you were kind of under the weather.
I was.
And so I kind of pushed off, like Anthony was going to Texas Day Brazil today because we had one more $25, like it was a special gift card that had to be used by today.
Would they give you this special meat?
It was like a limited time bonus card.
Okay.
And so I gave it to him, and him and Sarah went out today because
date night.
They went there for lunch, and so we didn't do Universal. But we're going to be doing it in a couple weeks, and maybe even next week, depending on how our schedule goes.
I won't fight it.
Rickwin said, already gone through my linen closet. Lots of things went to Goodwill.
I feel like it's the last stand. And then Joe got me an early Mother's Day present, which I can't wait to show you guys. It's a jewelry cabinet, like a swivel jewelry cabinet, because, you know, y'all know that I love me some junk jewelry, but it is everywhere. It is literally like, will take out my earrings and then they're plopped on top of surfaces and nothing is organized. And then I lose one, find it later. So we were trying to find like a better central location for it. So, but that meant that I needed to clean the corner out. And we also are getting rid of Tabitha's crate.
Yeah.
She doesn't really use it.
She doesn't use it anymore, and she's like the super lazy dog that doesn't chew anything.
No, she's never we just never have to crate her.
It takes up a lot of room.
But I had to clean out that whole area, so maybe we're just on a nesting
Susie
binge.
said, I've never tried Keto Chow. What is that? Maybe I need to try some. So Keto Chow, we have a lot of videos on it. It is a meal replacement shake. What makes it different than any other, kind of meal replacement shake or protein shake is that each one of them, which I just dropped them down there.
Good job.
But each package or serving is 1/3 of all of the vitamins, electrolytes, and nutrients you need in the day. What's cool about it is there's a lot of different flavors. I don't even know how many flavors there are anymore. When we found
more
it was
than
like
Baskin
20.
Robbins.
I think it is more than Baskin Robbins now. But what's cool about it is you get to determine the fat and the type of fat. So a lot of times you're going to see things like even like a Slim Fast, a keto version of a Slim Fast. They're determining the fat and they're determining how much fat and the calories of the shake. This, you actually decide, do you want to use melted butter, avocado oil, heavy whipping cream, coconut oil, whatever kind of fat you want, and how much. So you can really gear it in towards your own personal journey. For example, me, I use about 400 calories worth of fat in a shake. Rachel uses about 250 to 300.
Still delicious.
Really allows you to customize things, and you can also make really good ice cream with it and really good like different types of desserts like chicken drop biscuits, things like that.
That is
we use it for chili,
Christmas morning staple.
Lots of different things. So, and we do have a link down below, which will get you 10% off.
Did we do the peanut butter and jelly giveaways yet?
We did announce the peanut butter and jelly stuff over on our community page. And then we do have some more. As we were cleaning out the pantry today, I found a whole bunch more. And Rachel's like, can you get rid of some of the grape? Because you have like 60 of them. So maybe we'll do in one of our upcoming vlogs, maybe we'll do some more of those.
So I saw somebody was asking about, I think it was Tanya saying like, what does Anthony think about Keto Brick?
Anthony likes Keto Bricks.
He does. Caleb,
so does John Paul.
Yeah, so does Caleb. He's in the other room. I would pull him in, but he may have pajama pants on and not be up for that. But they all like it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let's see. Becca said, yum, Keto Chow. Haven't tried any of those, a couple of those yet. Oh, that's good. People saying they got their creamy today. Shauna said we need to make Joe a bubble wrap hat.
I feel like Shauna absolutely, she could. I could think of it, but like, there is nothing that woman cannot bring to life. Her creativity just knows no bounds. Even your Easter card was gorgeous, by the way. P.S.
Melissa has a good question. When you track in Chronometer, do you weigh your meat raw? Or she says you weigh it raw, correct? Yes, I do, except for bacon. Okay, bacon, I always use cooked weight because bacon is closer to 1-to-1 when you actually cook it. Nobody eats all of the fat that's on the bacon. The most important thing, whether you want to track raw or you want to track cooked, is to be consistent. The reason I like to track raw, and some people may disagree, but this is my personal opinion and my feeling, is because I would always rather overestimate how much I ate compared to underestimate it. The thing that I want to make sure I eat enough of is protein. Well, protein doesn't change whether you're measuring raw or you're measuring cooked. The protein never goes down. So if you look at, for example, a pound of ground beef, it's comprised of 3 things as far as weight: protein, fat, and water. When you cook it, the protein doesn't change. The amount of protein in there does not change. The amount of fat will change based on how much actually ends up on your plate as opposed to how much gets left in the pan or goes down like a drain, or if you're barbecuing it down onto the bottom coals. And then water just goes away. So when you track it raw, you are basically putting in that you had the amount of fat that was in that ground beef. If you don't eat all that, maybe some of it gets left in the pan or some of it goes down the back, drain hole or something like that. For me, I'd rather think that I ate more than I did. And then at the end of the day, if I didn't eat that much, that's good. I ate a little bit less fat than I thought I was eating, and that's only going to help me further in my journey. But if I were to track, say, cooked, what if, for example, the cook said I had 20 grams of fat, but somehow I added extra fat in there? Well, now I'm eating more than I actually thought. So I'd rather always think I ate more than I did.
So couple things. Number one, good job, LaShawn. Salute. Said that he did the keto chow, like banana pudding, like a version of that. Shauna mentioned that she was having grape keto chow tonight, and yes, I still do love you, Shauna, in spite of the fact that you are Team Joe and like grape. But then I wanted to revisit what you just said, which was drain hole. Drain hole is very important. In fact, I think drain hole, that thought of a drain hole is really the reason for our challenge, not challenge, that's coming up in May.
Okay.
Can we share what we're going to be doing in May? So here it is. We are going to be doing something very much outside of my comfort zone, but alas, here we go. We are going to be doing a book study as our challenge for May. We're calling it Why Not Wednesday, because we're going to be doing a live stream. Well, at least I am.
I may jump in depending on like what's going on with my schedules and things like that.
But if you've been following us for any length of time, Rachel don't do live streams without Joe. Right. I'm too nervous about it. But I'm going to do something way outside of my comfort zone, and that is do live streams. Every Wednesday in the month of May, we're going to be doing a book study. If you'd like to join us, we're going to be doing reviewing Atomic Habits. That's what we're going to be talking about. I got my copy off of Amazon. I know they sell them all over the place. I've even seen them in Walmart. So Atomic Habits is the book that we're going to be using for the book study. It's going to be every Wednesday in May at 5 o'clock. We're going to live stream. And the reason why I think it's important for us not to just jump into some arbitrary challenge in May, but to use what we've found out in April. If you've been tracking during this month of April, you've learned some stuff about yourself. Right. Maybe you've learned, I do too many meals during the day. Maybe you've learned that like you're incorporating too many hidden carbs have snuck in. Maybe you're not getting enough sleep. Maybe you need to de-stress. So you've gathered all of this information about yourself, but if we don't decide to create habits to head in the direction we want to go, what is the use of this information, right? It's just gonna go down the drain hole, right? So we don't want what you've learned about yourself. I don't want what I've learned about myself this month to go down the drain hole. So we're gonna learn how to make some atomic habits, and that's what we're gonna be doing in the month of May, just something super outside of my comfort zone.
Nobody's obligated to do it, but if you're interested, 5 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesdays. AVD, thank you very much for the $4.99 super chat. Said, my fat has been a little over my protein lately. Am I okay doing that? Usually it's about 20 to 30 grams lower than my protein. Okay, so it depends. So what do I mean by it depends? It depends on, number one, what are you eating? Where are your carbs at? Also, what is your energy threshold? And this is something we've been talking about in our last couple of vlogs. The first one should be coming out tomorrow if I can get it edited after I'm done cutting grass. But your body always wants to achieve homeostasis when it comes to the energy that you are expending and the energy that you are consuming. I don't like to use the term calories because that's implying that all calories are the same, and they're not. For example, protein calories are not the same as carbohydrate calories or sugar calories. Even though it's like a protein and a carbohydrate are both 4 calories per gram, your body doesn't use the protein as fuel unless there's absolutely no carbohydrates or fat on your body or in your food. So those calories don't count. What we care about is energy. Energy is carbohydrates and fat, also alcohol and ketones. But if your threshold or what you're trying to achieve for your energy is, for example, I like the round number of 150, if your fat is taking you over the 150, you could have a problem. But let's say your 1-to-1 ratio is 150 grams of protein and 150 grams of energy, which is fat and carbs combined, and you're only getting 100 grams of protein, but you're at 120 grams of fuel, which is your fat, you're fine because the fuel is the energy. So if you're expending 150 grams of energy a day and you're only consuming 120, you're going to lose weight. Okay? If you're consuming 150 grams of energy, but you're only expending 120, you're probably going to gain weight.
Yeah.
So calories matter, but they don't matter. It's the type of calories. That's why we like the term fuel. The whole idea of calories in, calories out doesn't really work. And we actually have a video coming out why it doesn't work, but it comes down to homeostasis and the fact that your body is always going to try to balance things out. So if you're constantly under eating, your body will slow things down. It's going to give you cravings. It's going to tell you, hey, you need to eat more because it wants more fuel.
Right.
So we have to always change things up. But it really comes down to when you say your fat is higher than your protein, why is it? Is it way higher than what you're supposed to be eating, or is it just you had an off protein day? That's okay. 70 said, can you please link Rachel's t-shirt? So that
Absolutely.
shirt is from, I don't know if we have any moderators in here.
I am ketostrong.com.
But it's from iamketostrong.com. Watch Autumn Keto's t-shirt thing. That's where you can get them. They're not from us. We do have a whole bunch of t-shirts on our website, but that is not one of them.
This is a Triple J.
Monica, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. She said, please make a video about why we should still eat fat even when we have our body stored up. A few of us are still confused. Thank you for all you do.
That'd be awesome.
So yeah, we can make a video on that, but I can briefly tell you why now. Because it goes back to the homeostasis thing. Your body has stored body fat. Yes, you want to burn that, but you still need to give it fuel. So think about, I used this example a few weeks ago. I had a truck. You have a truck, your truck has an alternator, the alternator charges your battery. Your car can actually run on just the battery, but the alternator keeps the battery charged. I was driving down the street one day and all of a sudden I had my power windows stop working and my radio stopped working. And then I went a little bit further and then my gauges turned off. And then I went a little bit further and some other functions turned off. And then finally, all of a sudden the whole car shut down. What happened? My alternator died. So the car's computer, which needs a battery, kept shutting things down that it didn't need to function until finally there wasn't even enough power for the computer to run, at which point it shut down the car. So fuel, which is fat and carbohydrates combined, if you're not eating enough fuel, your body will begin to shut down or slow down systems. Your metabolism. You're not breaking your metabolism because this is what your metabolism is designed to do. It is, I'm not getting enough energy in, so I need to slow things down. I need to do something because I don't know the next time I'm going to get fuel and I only have X amount of reserve, i.e. the battery, right? I only have so much. So it'll start to slow things down. So we need to eat enough energy so that our metabolism doesn't slow down and vary it, but not eat so much that we can't lose weight. So you want to eat enough to keep your metabolism going, but still less so that you can tap into your stored body fat.
Right.
Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. And that's why we talk about varying it up. Long term, if you just continue to eat a lot less and don't change anything up, then your body will begin to slow down metabolism. For example, Rachel got herself to eating 500 calories for 2 years. So of course, she lost 100 pounds. But then her body's metabolism got so efficient that it didn't need to do anything. First of all, her hair was falling out. It
was shutting down functions.
She had no energy. She was really lethargic all the time. And then eventually she began gaining weight at the same 500 calories. And that sounds insane. But if she even upped 50 calories, the body just stored everything as fat because it didn't know when it was going to get more fuel.
Jen is having a birthday.
Jen, thank you very much for the $49.99 super chat.
Wow.
Said, it's my birthday tomorrow and I'd like to buy someone dinner to attend Texas State Brazil who might not otherwise be able to go.
Absolutely. I'm sure there's somebody that we can bring along.
Do that.
But let's sing happy birthday to Jen in the meantime. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jen. Happy birthday to you and many more. Jen, we will absolutely put out that Texas Day Brazil card for someone.
Kimberly said, I had to make a new Facebook account because mine got hacked and I'm not able to post in the Two Crazy Ketos family page because my page isn't a year old yet. Anyway, around that. I will look into that. Send me an email at joe@twocrazyketos.com to remind me, and I will look at that, and then we will email you back.
Oh, man. Some stinker, I'm sure some of you guys got it, started an Instagram account with my picture, but it wasn't me, and was like sending out emails to people. That was like super frustrating.
You want to go give one of these Nightbot giveaways away?
Let's do it.
Ready?
Uh-huh.
Roll it.
Dun, 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 dun.
Well, we're not going to give it to
Oh
Lynette,
my gosh, the winner was
works
Lynette.
for Keto Chow, so we're not going to give it to
that is awesome.
You ready?
Hi, Lynette.
Rickwin! Rickwin, do me a favor. Send us an email at joe@twocrazyketos.com with all of your shipping information, and we will send that out tomorrow.
Oh my goodness. It's Paul's birthday today. Thank you for your $2
Paul,
super
thank
chat.
you very much for the $2 super
Let's
chat.
sing to
Turn 58.
Paul. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Paul. Happy birthday to you, and many more.
Karen said my husband would hit his head in our trailer when we mowed. Yeah, it's because it's low.
Well, and I think that, like, we don't realize, like, I think that I should be more thankful for my hair because we don't realize, like, I'm always yelling at my hair because it's not getting fixed the way I want it to be. But it's really doing a lot more than just being on my head decorative. It actually protects us from a lot of stuff.
Right.
But Joe doesn't have any hair, so his skin on his scalp has to take the blow for everything my hair gets hung up in.
Shauna said, Two Crazy Ketos, I was hoping we could meet Anthony. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get Anthony to come up.
We should try
What we need to do is get the other Anthony DiPetrillo, who lives about 30 minutes north of us, to go up to Orlando for that dinner as well.
That would be super fun.
Debbie said, hi, guys.
Hi, Debbie.
Want to ask you if you are taking iodine. Please address what you think about this subject.
Yes, we do take iodine.
We do put a couple of drops of iodine in our coffee in the morning.
Every morning.
Just to make sure that we're doing okay. Right now, all of our functions are really good. But since we don't do iodized salt and I don't do a tremendous amount of seafood, I don't eat a lot of liver, so we do supplement iodine, but just 1 or 2 drops every day of Lugol's. Let's see. Sherry said we did a great job in Utah.
Thanks so much, Sherry.
By the way, Maitreya said, I love crispy salmon skin, but not like that. First of all, the ingredients in that salmon skin were horrible.
Yeah.
Maitreya put a great video up. Thank you so much for coming to everybody's defense on lupini flour.
Yes, thank you.
It was really good. Yeah, Emily said $18 for a bag of salmon skins. Yikes, I laughed so hard at that in the video.
Oh, seriously, I couldn't believe it. And Anthony is like a huge salmon lover. So when I was I did not understand what I was walking into when they were like, go get mom. Joe just goes like, Rachel. And so I come in and I'm like, what is it that I'm supposed to be tasting? And so when it was like salmon, I thought, salmon? Anthony, you love salmon. What's the hang up with salmon? But see, they had already read the ingredients. And I think you already suspected that this might be a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It seriously smelled and tasted like the fish food.
It does.
That we would give to our beta fish.
Yeah.
When God rest its soul. That's exactly what it smelled like.
Diana said,
tasted like.
Kids don't belong on an anniversary trip.
Right, there you go.
Sharon said Joe would pop the bubble wrap first, so no protection.
There you go. They know you. They absolutely know.
Jerry and Patty will be doing Universal Harry Potter Texas Day Brazil. We're in it to win.
In it to win it. I'm so excited. I am so excited about going on rides. I do need to know who that's going to Universal Studios is going to be my roller coaster buddy. Because not everybody rides roller coasters, right?
WCB said I had a non-scale victory this week, went to the doctor on Monday, and he congratulated me on losing some weight. I told him I cut my carbs to around 20 grams with a max of 50, and he said, keep doing it.
I love that. I love hearing that back from doctors, don't you? Didn't you love all of the doctors and researchers that were there in Utah speaking, if you got to see it? It's like there's so many more people in the medical profession, more and more every single year, that are changing the way they do things. I will never forget, one of the big moments for me was there was a nurse that had gotten to line and he was asking, I don't want to keep doing this, though I got into the medical profession to help people. How can I be more effective? And just the the sincerity in his eyes as he was asking Dr. Berry, like, what do you think is my best shot at being a blessing in my profession? Like, I just love that, because there's so many doctors that are eager to help and learn more.
Hey, by the way, see when the light over there switches from there to there? That means that's the camera that's on air.
Oh, hello. Anthony always looks at the TV set, so he's never
We've
quite
got
looking.
to work on that.
He's never quite looking.
Get him to look at the camera instead of at the monitor.
Right.
But we will definitely get there. Let's see. Karen said, if I want to lose weight, do I put my goal weight in calculations to figure what my protein should be? Okay, so the best way to figure out what your macros should be is using lean body mass. That is honestly the absolute best way. If you don't know your lean body mass,
which most people don't,
you can kind of calculate it. Now, if you go over to Keto Gains website, they do have a great way where they're going to tell you to take a bunch of measurements of like your neck and your waist and your hips and that kind of stuff. That can kind of give you a good idea. Or you can use your goal weight, but it's not like, hey, I weigh 250 pounds and I want to weigh 200. It is that ridiculous weight that they said we should weigh in like 1975.
Yes.
Okay. It's like a really ridiculous, like, what is, according to medical professionals, your ideal body weight.
Right. It's
really low. For me, I think they say it's like 158 or 159 pounds.
Yeah.
For Rachel, I think it's like 110.
I think it's in the negative numbers. I think if you're a 5'7.5" woman that's over the age of 40, I think we're supposed to weigh what, like 98,
right,
94 pounds, something like that.
A good place to start, just for anybody, is minimum protein of 100 grams. So 100 to 150 grams is good for pretty much anybody. And then I would always tell you to keep your fat somewhere between 80 to 100 and then 20 to 30 total carbs. So and again, you can mess with that. So if you're eating only 10 total carbs, up your fat to 110. That would give you 120 grams of energy. If you're eating 80 grams of fat, you can do 20 carbs. That would put you up at 100. I would not go lower than 20 grams of fat or less than 100 total grams of energy, because then we could be risking having our metabolism slow down a little bit.
I think the more precise answer comes with how much precision you want to bring to the equation.
Don't focus on numbers. It really depends on what are you eating.
Yeah.
If you are eating almost pure carnivore or ketovore, and you're not doing any kind of keto treats, you're not doing even baked goods at home, you're literally just eating meat and vegetables, and you're only eating 1 to 2 meals a day, don't get hung up on numbers.
Yeah.
It comes down to when you're eating multiple meals a day. Are you snacking? Are you eating a lot of keto treats? The more you add in, the more you have to really start paying attention to macros. One of the things that we loved when Dr. Berry had us do beef, butter, bacon, and egg last September, that was like a joint venture between the two of us to kind of bring it out into like the space. Was he said, you can eat, if you're only going to eat beef, butter, bacon, and eggs and nothing else, no sweeteners, no cheese, no chicken, no nothing else, only those 4 things.
Yeehaw!
You can eat as many times as you want, as much as you want in the day.
Right.
What he didn't tell us is you're not going to really be able to. You think you're going to be able to, but you're not, because you're going to get so full on those things.
We wouldn't have believed it even if he told us.
But do you understand, there was, because you were only eating beef and butter and bacon and eggs, and if there's one in there that you don't like, let's say you don't like eggs, you don't have to eat the eggs.
Right.
Okay, but the point was that you're not going to be able to gain a bunch of fat on it. You may gain weight, but you're not going to gain fat. Unless, of course, you're eating like 50 times a day. Like you're eating, 25 calories here and 100 calories there, and you're never eating to satiety.
If you're grazing.
That was the point. The point was you have to eat to satiety, and then you will not be able to overeat. RMD said, can we eat 0-carb pork sausage on beef, butter, bacon, and egg? It depends on how strict you want to get. Did we occasionally eat pork sausage? Yes. But as Dr. Berry said to us, it is not the best thing, especially when you look at the ingredients. You have to look at what's in there. Is there sugar in there? I would not, except for if you're maybe going out to eat like at a Brazilian steakhouse and you're like, okay, this week I'm going out. I want to be part of everybody. We would have some sausage. But at home, we really weren't. One of the things that he had said is pork. He put bacon in there because how do you not have bacon on keto and carnivore?
Bacon just makes everything better.
But pork is not one of the best proteins. The best proteins is ruminant animals. So when he says beef, it is any ruminant animal. So beef, venison, lamb, elk, any of that kind of stuff. That is the best, healthiest meat to be eating.
Lamb is growing on me. Can I just share that? I feel like that's a non-scale victory.
It is.
The fact that like I'm starting to open up to lamb. I know that some people probably just love it and they grew up with it, but like it's an acquired taste for me.
I am keto strong. A lot of people are asking
about the shirt.
I am keto
strong.
Nope,
that's not it.
That's not it.
That's like another.
It's somebody else who took her name.
I know. It's I am keto strong.
That's what I did.
.com.
Yeah, that is not her site though.
Okay. Oh,
yes,
no, that is.
There it is.
It is. I'm sorry.
Sorry, guys. Okay, so let's put this into the chat. So this is Autumn's website if you want to order some shirts from Autumn. Okay? And then let her know that we sent you.
Yeah, because she'll be like, wait a second, what is this? She's got a lot of them. There's a really awesome variety of shirts.
Let's do another giveaway.
Check them out. Heath's getting some keto chow.
Heath, go ahead and send us in. Well, I have your shipping information.
Send it
You want to do another one?
Yeah. Tanya! I miss you, girl.
You're not even writing these down. I hope you're going to remember.
It was Tanya, Heath,
Here you go. Tanya,
Lynette.
Heath. Well, Lynette doesn't win.
I know. It was Rickwin.
Rickwin. There you go.
Rickwin.
Okay.
Heath.
John said I was hoping for some peaches and cream. We don't have any peaches and cream because Rachel doesn't like it.
I don't know how grape snuck in here.
Alberta said, love your shirt. Started Carnivore on February 6th. Been clean eating since then. Feels so much better. What is good is since my health insurance raised my premiums for deductible.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Somebody was asking us about our deductible for health insurance recently also. And it got us to thinking like how rarely we ever use it. Right? And then I thought, well, we're going to tap into it when we do all of our lab work. But then no, we didn't have to do that either because we just went through Own Your Labs and we didn't have to like go through our insurance even for that because it was cheaper to get the lab work done through them than it was through our insurance.
We are so far behind, like it's even scrolling the ones that don't scroll.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Susie said, I love egg yolks, but not the whites. Any suggestions on what to do with the egg whites other than feed them to the dog? Like, Dr. Barry will tell you throw them out.
Yeah, he'll just say throw them out.
Egg yolks are always healthier. Egg yolks are actually perfect 1-to-1. All of the vitamins and nutrition is in the yolks.
Yeah.
So what you don't want to throw out is yolks. The yolks. And
all
a lot
yolking
of times,
aside.
people who have allergies to eggs, a lot of times the allergy is to the whites, not the yolks.
Isn't that interesting?
So yeah, but you can make the egg white bread. There's a lot of things you can do with it. Somebody, it's scrolling too fast that I can't go back to it. But somebody said they would eat more at Texas A Brazil because they want to get their money's worth. That was Rachel's thing. But because it comes to you slowly, you just hit that wall.
You do. I can't negotiate with that protein wall. That's like why it is hard to try to convince somebody to do like something like beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. But they, in that same conversation, sometimes I'll have with somebody, they're like, I just get so hungry, but I don't think that is enough for me. But I'm like, I wish that you would give it a try because I am that person that can eat a butt ton in a sitting. So I got full faster eating that way. I know it is super simple, but it just fills you up.
Right. Jennifer said your beef butter at 26 sign it's the and side.
It's ampersand.
Inspired my own, and having gone carnivore since, my health has really done much better. I want you to know that God has used you as a blessing in my life.
Well, thank you, Jennifer.
He said, Brazilian pro tip, I always put the reservation that we want beef ribs and lamb chops first.
That's good.
This way we don't have to wait for them to finally come around.
That's
awesome.
Great.
Thank you very much.
And again, every single Brazilian steakhouse that we have visited, they're different, and we find something wonderful about each one. So something that happened in this past experience is right up front, they ask us, how do you like your meat? Do you like it medium rare? Do you like it well done? So that if we have a well done piece of meat and you don't like well done, we won't even come to the table with that, even if it is the beef or lamb that you're requesting. And a lot of times they will say, what is it that you're looking for? So we try to be upfront, not overwhelm them, but just say like, hey, don't worry about bringing us the side dishes because we don't eat that. And we really like to prioritize the beef and the lamb, and we're not much for the sausages, so you don't have to bother with that. And they do take notes of all that and will, help with that.
Dawn said I wasn't even going to post a link because I didn't know if it's allowed. Yeah, it's fine so long as you don't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So, we only ask, please don't spam the Facebook group with like constant links to your channels and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's got to be a keto channel.
The only reason why we say that is because we've had that experience and it becomes a lot on the moderators too.
Crispy said, I had the same issue with my eyeglasses. I'm down to just readers and my long distance is perfect. That's awesome. Salt and Butter, thank you for being a channel member, said, any chance you're going to low carb for better health on August 21st or Dr. Barry's PhD whenever he announces details? I live in Indiana and Kentucky and Tennessee are the closest to me.
Yes, we
will not be at low carb for better health.
But we will be at the PhD.
August is already ridiculous.
Right.
So we are going to be in Orlando in August, and then we also have Omaha, which there's a link down below with a 50% off coupon for that. We will be at Dr. Barry's event, so Nisha's already asked us if we would come up for that. We're going to be speaking with her when we see her next week about what our role is going to be, but we will be there, and we will also be at Keto Palooza in Kentucky.
Yay! You definitely want to go to that if you're thinking about going to Keto Palooza. Is an awesome one. I think you'd really enjoy too.
Casper said, I love watching your live stream. Race to get the dishes all finished and watching you while eating my creamy. Fun night.
How nice. I always eat a creamy when we're watching Keto Chow live stream. There's something about like the creamy and a live stream. Just the perfect pair.
Debbie said, what do you think about adding your yogurt and your egg pudding on BBE style of diet? Thank you for all your encouragement and your inspiration. If you're looking for strict beef, butter, bacon, and egg, neither one of them will be any good because no dairy. Other than butter, but butter is just the fat, but no dairy, so you wouldn't be able to eat the yogurt. If you want to do a variation with it, you may not have the same kind of results.
But you'll have good results, especially if you're replacing something that's maybe packaged with yogurt. Or
the only reason I would say I try not to do that, especially at least for the first 2 to 3 weeks, is one of the things that makes beef, butter, bacon, and eggs such a good thing is it's an elimination diet.
Right.
Those are the 4 things that pretty much most people are not allergic to and that nobody binges. Okay.
Yes.
That's what Dr. Barry said. Like, we were asked, why don't you have chicken wings on here? What's wrong with chicken wings? He said, first of all, they're not fatty enough. Second of all, you can binge chicken wings.
And I was how does he know? Has he been at my Super Bowl party? How does he know this?
Yeah.
Because it is true.
And he's like, you're not going to binge these foods. So, if you're adding yogurt in, if you have an allergy to dairy or dairy doesn't sit well with you, you're not going to know that unless you eliminate it for a while. I know that I get inflamed if I eat too much cheese. How do I know that? Because I ate like a half a pound of cheese over the last 2 days and I'm up 5 pounds. Now, am I up 5 pounds in fat? No, I'm up 5 pounds in inflammation. And I can feel it. I can actually get up in the morning and tell Rachel, I guarantee you I'm up 4 or 5 pounds just by the way I feel from the night before. Now, I didn't gain 5 pounds in fat overnight. That's just not possible. But it is inflammation. Do I still eat cheese sometimes? Yeah.
Sadly, yes, he does.
Karen said, I really want to try Keto Chow. I would be so appreciative if you could just try one of your closet clean out. Love you guys. So excited to get my weight off and start my new life plan. Prayers for the dental. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Let's see. Future Breeze said, I have trouble sticking to plan in the office, maybe Keto Chow or a brick as a meal replacement. Yep.
Well, I have to say, I really like what Karen said. Karen, you just want a Keto Chow. So send us your information.
At joe@twocrazyketos.com.
And we want to send it to you.
Sandy said, when I see you 2 Crazy Ketos with those mugs, it makes me want a cup of coffee. This is Rachel's first cup of coffee today.
Can you believe it? Like I said, I woke up this morning. Well, actually, it was like last night when I went to bed and I just wasn't feeling like great. I just felt like a little, like I had kind of like a headache. So I woke up this morning and I wasn't feeling great. And so instead of drinking coffee this morning, I thought, you know what? I'm just going to pump the electrolytes today. And I did, and I feel a lot better.
Lisa said, one plus is I have to dress a little more at my new job, and I've been feeling a bit more confident in how I look lately.
That is awesome.
Jacqueline said, good morning from Singapore.
Hi.
Looking for my type of permanent way of eating, likely ketovore-ish.
Good.
Tad worried on trips, especially to other Asian countries. Would likely like to try all of the food. So
we're so glad you're here.
What is the best form of the proper human diet? Let's pop quiz. For anybody who's watching.
The most sustainable for you.
You got an A.
Thank you very much. I've been schooled in this for a while. The reason why is I've tried to
not carnivore.
Not necessarily.
Not ketovore.
No, Rachel keto. Rachel keto works for Rachel. I've tried to do it every other person's way, and it hasn't been sustainable for me. So I have to do it Rachel way. I try to share on Instagram, and when we're vlogging, you see what Rachel way means. It may not be for everybody, but it's what works for me.
Keto Life Granny said, even living full-time in my converted shuttle bus and have minimized as much as anyone can, I still have too much stuff.
I think that it's just human nature to try it to gather, right? We may, the hunting and gathering has changed over the years. Now Joe is hunting for things at Costco, and I am still gathering things into the linen closet, apparently. But we're still hunters and gatherers.
Yeah, a couple people saying that 5 o'clock is too early for them. Unfortunately, it's just hard to find a time that works for everybody.
I totally get it, and I don't.
There will be on replay, and we may do some pop-em ones on the weekends, but this is what we can commit to.
If it's just me and the camera, then that's what we'll do. But I'm like, why not? Let's just do it.
Yeah. Let's see. We're gonna scroll way down. Sorry if we're skipping you. My thumbs are too slow to keep up. Happy birthdays. Okay.
Congratulations. I wanted to say while you're scrolling down, I saw, Lisa, your post about trying to navigate your new workplace and how it seems like everywhere you turn, there's somebody that could potentially be like undermining your diet, and that how like you are working hard to make good choices all throughout the day, and that your heart goes out to the people that you work with that are sort of trapped in like their carb cycle, and you see how frustrated they are, but you're just trying to keep yourself going at the right speed. So I'm definitely thinking of you and praying for you, Lisa, as you navigate this new workspace. And like, I see you, and I'm really appreciative to you for sharing that struggle that you're seeing, because you love your job, you're doing great, you love the people you work with, you want to help everybody, you know you can't, you're trying to stay committed to yourself, and that is really hard. And just, I really appreciate you sharing your honest struggle with everybody, because I think it's super relatable. I think everybody has to kind of struggle with that. And I was really appreciative for you for sharing that in the group.
Yep. Laura said, please make a video on how to order a cow correctly.
Okay.
It really comes down to, are you buying a whole cow or are you buying a share?
Yeah.
So a lot of times if you're buying a share, you don't have as many options. So when we ordered ours from the Damn Ranch, they are a co-op.
That was the name of the ranch.
Yes, it was.
It was the Damn Ranch.
They are a co-op, so
That's
mostly
where we got our damn
do
cow.
quarter and half shares.
Yeah.
And we said to her, we would like a whole share. And so she said, with a half share, they determine all the cuts because, again, they're splitting it up between 2 people or 4 people. But with the whole share, it really comes down to what do you want. What she did was she had the butcher contact us, and then the butcher went down everything with us. Because, again, we didn't know what we were doing.
No.
And he was like, okay, what do you want?
Yes.
Do you want more steaks? Do you want more roasts? And then, so he went down every part of the cow, and he said, how much of this do you want steak? this is something that a lot of people make chopped meat. Do
Yes.
you want it as a roast? And we said we want as many steaks and roasts as possible, and then everything else and all the trimmings turn it into ground beef. So we ended up with about 162 pounds of ground beef. Some people would end up with a lot more. If you're only buying a quarter or a half a share, you're going to end up with more ground beef than if you were buying like the whole thing and determining what you want. One thing we did ask them to do is with our ground beef, take all of the organs, throw it in, and mix it all together.
So we
every pound of ground beef that we have has a little bit of heart, a little bit of liver.
Have a heart. Sorry. We love that damn cow. It's been a delicious damn cow.
Nice. I forgot during Dr. Barry Nisha's live stream the other day, there's a thing that you always say, and I forgot what it was, but it's one of your little pun things. And they said
puns.
When Nisha and Dr. Barry said it, somebody in the chat repeated it the way you repeat it,
Really?
and Nisha started cracking up, forgetting that that's something that you say. It was really, it's like, oh, there's Rachel comments. Let's see.
Oh, good. Exposing
Cool Kid
darkness.
Keto said, my hair is so long right now, I might have a mullet again.
Wow.
Shauna said, I've not been on a roller coaster since my 22nd birthday, which makes it a little over 3 decades.
Time to break it, girl. Time to break that record.
Carla said, Joe, are you going to do a cottage cheese recipe? I'd love to start making my own so I know exactly what is in it.
I have been pressuring him for this because he does know how to make the cottage cheese.
It's just not as easy.
Tasted his cottage cheese, and his cottage cheese is delicious.
Okay, great question.
Thank you for asking that.
Amy said, anyone ever gain weight on keto and ketovore before losing weight? Been 3 months, starting to get discouraged. It depends on how wrecked your metabolism is. I shouldn't use the word wrecked.
Mine was wrecked.
Where is your metabolism? If you were like Rachel, who was severely under eating for a long time,
your
body is going to need to heal first.
It took a lot longer for me to start seeing results than Joe.
Now, one of the best ways to not gain weight, if you're transitioning over and you were eating ultra low calorie, is to slowly increase the amount of food that you're eating.
Yeah.
Because then, as we talked about homeostasis, your body will start ramping things up because it starts going, oh, I've got enough fuel coming in so I can speed some things up. I'm going to give you some more energy. I'm going to give you the desire to go out and do some weightlifting or go for a walk and different things like that. But it really comes down to, it's a healing thing. When you look at keto, I want you to look at keto this is a lifestyle change that improves your body and will improve your overall health, and the weight loss is a side effect.
Yes. Instead of going towards it like we do when we're heading towards Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers or something like that, where we're like, I'm headed for weight loss, and anything else that comes out is a side effect. This is a diet to improve your health, and weight loss is the side effect.
Cool Kid Keto said, Hans and I am going back on BBB in May, which is awesome because I won't have to shop at all.
That is nice, right?
Yeah, somebody said, there's no way Shauna is 50. She said she's 55.
It's not. I don't think she's telling the truth. I love her, but I don't think if you meet her and talk to her, like you see her, it can't be true.
22Q Cat wants to know, where's the zoo tonight?
Oh, all the animals?
All over the place.
We have like this barn door, this sliding barn door that we have closed, and we managed to get all of Noah's Ark on the other side of that door. But during this live, they've all been moving the door. You can see them like pawing open, like, what are you doing in there? Must be something fun.
Future Bree said, I struggle with eating to satiety when I'm at the office. Too easy to take my meal and graze it for 3 hours.
Yeah, that is challenging.
It does become a challenge. Sharon said, during beef, butter, bacon, and egg, I made Joe's 2KK sausage. Easy recipe, and I knew what was in it. 3-ounce servings is what I
That is a great recipe. Really great. You can make up the sausage patties or links or however you want to present it. I just love having it in the freezer to just thaw it out and make it. It cooks up really quickly.
Yep. WCB said, when I was eating beef, butter, bacon, and egg, I was lucky if I could eat more than one meal because I was always full, which is, Rachel was disappointed.
I was. That's a weird thing to say, but I was, because when someone says we're about to I felt like it was going to be like a Toys R Us, like supermarket sweep that I thought, great, I'm going to have this set of time to just hork it all down.
Right.
But then it was like, nope, I'm full by aisle number 1. I was like very disappointed.
Here's another winner. Cool Kid
Cool
Keto.
Kid Keto, you won some keto chow.
So go ahead and send us an email at joe@twocrazyketos.com. We'll send that out. Exposing Darkness said, I agree, never had lamb, but it is growing on me.
It's growing on me.
Too.
I am still on the hunt for hairy lambs instead of the ones that have like the wool, because I've been told that they have a much milder taste. So we're still on the
A lot
lookout.
of it comes down to how it's cooked and the spices and the stuff they use.
But there's clearly breeds of sheep
Yep.
that have
aren't as gamey.
Yeah, that aren't as gamey.
Debbie said, my 1-year keto anniversary is next week in May 5th.
Yay.
I've never stuck to anything for a year. A lifestyle change for sure.
You can't
That is
identify like that anymore, Debbie, because you can do it. Clearly, you've proven it. I love when we have been doing like keto on the couch for so long that we can't say that we're inconsistent anymore. We have to change ourselves as far as like how we identify ourselves. We are not people who don't follow through with things, because clearly we have followed through. So you're the same way. Like, so you are no longer somebody that's not consistent or can't stick to things. You got to reclassify yourself altogether.
Yep.
It's kind of exciting.
Alana said, I never liked lamb until very recently as well. Now I find it slightly sweet.
That's so cool.
Salt and Butter said, doing beef, butter, bacon, and egg right now, probably till the 1st of June, then probably back on after my cruise. I'm going to stay low carb on vacation, but I want to allow cheese and some
Nice.
veggies since I will be in new countries.
How
and that
fun.
is a great way to do it.
That is a great bar to set. I have to be on a cruise on vacation in another country to switch over and add these few things. If we would put that kind of fence around stuff, then you could enjoy it, right?
Yep. Juju said, Texas and Brazil usually brings me a lot quickly since I can't have gluten. So no spicy or garlic anything. They bring me a lot of what I can have most often.
You need to bring a scale. See it, try it. You'll be surprised. I really thought, because of the fact that I always left the place feeling so full, like so satiated, I thought I'm definitely eating an inappropriate amount when I go here. Like, I totally thought that.
Let me see if I can find that scale real quick.
Oh, okay. Because yeah, that scale was not small. Can I tell you that?
No, it was small.
It wasn't as small as I thought it was going to be. It was.
But
it
it
fit
was
in my movie bag purse.
It was not. It's 4 inches
It
by
was
3
noticeable.
inches.
It was still a little bit noticeable.
But
you're gonna have to be a little brave. Let's be honest.
yeah, but it
it's
wasn't
odd.
like a normal kitchen scale. You couldn't use this scale every day. But if you're looking for something, hey, probably nobody is as silly
Nobody
as
else
us.
is gonna do this,
But this is the
there you
scale
go.
we use. And yeah, it is, I'm going to tell you the exact length. It is 5 inches
Right.
by 4 inches. So it's only about this big. It's in the other room. But it's
Yeah.
not like a big giant kitchen scale. So it's
No.
inconspicuous. It fits
Inconspicuous.
it fits in my short pockets.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's not inconspicuous sitting on the table, but carrying it in and stuff.
When you're taking your meat tongs and you're like plopping down it, and then I'm pulling mine back to my plate, and then you're plopping the meat down.
Well, that's because it's 2 of us. ST Wong said, I want to do beef, butter, bacon, egg, but I have a hard time eating that much beef. I can't seem to cook steak very well and can only eat so much ground beef.
Well, like we said, there's more to that. Any ruminant animal, give
Yep.
yourself the variety and be like, okay, I'm going to try some venison. I'm going to try some lamb. I'm going to have some beef. Like, sometimes it's also in our mind that we're thinking we won't enjoy it, but it also, like, the discussion was over. For me, it was like, okay, well, what are you going to eat today? Well, it's got to be beef, butter, bacon, and eggs, some combination of that. So, some days we would eat more beef than eggs, and sometimes we would eat more eggs than beef, and sometimes we would eat eggs and bacon and no beef. So it's like you start to make it work just
Right.
because you're in it.
Sherry, thank you very much
Sherry.
for the $4.99 super chat. Said, you had such great results with beef, butter, bacon, egg, unlimited meals. Why are you pushing 2 meals, 3 max, no snacks when it works so well? Because when we were doing beef, butter, bacon, eggs, we were only eating 2. We weren't even eating 3 meals. We were eating at max 2 with no snacks.
Yeah.
Because we were never hungry.
Right.
The more we incorporate other things,
That's the issue.
more if you don't eat to satiety, the more you're going to want to graze throughout the day.
Yeah.
Every time you put something in your mouth, you are having a meal. Every time you have something in your mouth, you are having an insulin reaction.
That's what she said.
Insulin is really important, but
sorry,
you
that
don't.
Just fell out.
I know.
I'm sorry. Why are we going to do a Wednesday live stream with just Rachel? This is a terrible idea.
Okay, so every time you put something in your mouth, you have an insulin reaction. If you're constantly having insulin reactions, we do need insulin, okay?
Yes.
We do need to ask a type 1 diabetic. You absolutely want to have insulin, but you want to control how much and how often we're releasing it, because hence insulin is a fat storing hormone, but you also have to worry about things like leptin and everything else. So if you are constantly eating all day long, you are constantly having insulin reactions, and therefore you're going to really struggle to lose weight. You want to limit your insulin reactions. You want to limit it to 2 or 3 times a day. For example, a lot of people have a cephalic insulin response to anything sweet. So even something like stevia. So when is the best time to have something like a Zevia or even Redmond Relight that has stevia in it? Depending on, again, how strong your cephalic insulin response is with a meal. You don't want to be sipping on a Diet Coke all day long.
Like I used to do.
You're possibly having insulin reactions all day long. Now, you might get away with it at the beginning. I know I did. But the more you're doing this, the more you get closer to your goal weight, the stricter you have to get. So that's the biggest reason. No matter what, we should only be eating 2 to 3 meals a day without snacking in between. This idea of eat 2, 3, 4 meals a day and 2 snacks, that's like not, that their whole thing was, well, you need to keep your metabolism going. That's a horrible idea. That's why the diet industry makes so much money, and they make billions of dollars on people continuing to gain and lose the same 20 pounds year after year after year.
It really
Let's face it, companies like Weight Watchers don't really want you to lose weight. If you lose all the weight, you won't stay on Weight Watchers.
That's why there are people, I'm sure that you guys know people that have been
we'll get sued over that one,
Weight
probably.
Watchers client for 20 years, 25 years.
Let's just say this to prevent lawsuits. We are not doctors, lawyers, or health professionals. Obviously, she just said that's what she said. Okay,
Sorry.
These are our own personal opinions. Julie said I used coconut cream and keto chow in place of butter and it tasted awful. Yeah, every taste is subjective. Some people like it. Future Breeze said I'm excited for my A1C next month. Second test since Keto Carnivore.
I love that you're getting excited about the health test that you're taking because you have good hope for the future. Isn't that so different than the way that we always lived our life? It was like when we had to go to the doctor and take a test and get lab results, it was like I stressed out about it. I did not look forward to it. I love the fact that I am interested and excited to get results because I know that there is hope. I love talking to my mom when she's about to go to a doctor's appointment because she isn't stressing. Right? She is looking forward to it because she knows, hey, I'm eating the right things and I'm having good results and I feel healthy. I love it when I hear you guys getting excited about going to the doctor and getting your lab results.
Yeah, Right Family said, do you know if Keto Palooza is Brantley friendly? I would say yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
If any conference is Brantley friendly,
yeah,
it is that one.
Yeah.
He said, I can't do beef, butter, bacon, eggs because behold the power of cheese.
Behold the power of cheese.
And somebody else said, I saw a comment back to him saying, you mean you don't want to give up cheese, which is more, it's not that you can't give it up, it's that you don't want to.
It's like, well, the thing is that I feel like if you got Dr. Barry and Heath together just for like a minute about that, like, should I do beef, butter, bacon, and eggs? By the time Dr. Barry explains it to you, you're like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's like when Dr. Sivas is going to tell you something and Joe comes home and he's like, tear. Like that guy gets right down to it and you like leave like, okay, I'm going to change my ways.
Shauna said, oh, the videos we've had to toss.
I know. It's so true.
Cindy said, I can't wait for Keto Palooza. My sister and I already have our
Yay!
tickets.
I'm so glad. You're not going to be sorry that you went to Keto Palooza. It's so stinking fun.
He said, even though Autumn won't admit it, Keto Palooza is my birthday present.
Aw, I love that.
Let's see. Robin said, just saying, given the state of chicken pieces right now,
prices,
there's no binging on chicken wings.
It has gone up
It's ridiculous.
tremendously.
Let's see. Catherine said, started carnivore, had 2 weeks of carnivore, flu hell.
Oh,
After that, I felt good, but never hungry. And when I eat, I can't eat very much. Help. Spread out a little bit.
Yeah.
What you want to do is, it's more important to make sure we're getting enough energy and our protein in. Instead of trying to have, for example, maybe 1 or 2 meals, have an eating window. Say like, I'm going to just eat as much as I want over a 4 or 6 hour eating window, but then not eat anything for the other portion of the day.
Right.
That is just as good. Like, for example, Rachel can sit down and eat everything in 20 minutes. That same meal is going to take me an hour and a half to eat.
Yeah. So, and we noticed that, and then I would get frustrated with that. I used to think that like having 2 or 3 meals a day was basic, like it had to be like an hour. Like I wanted to be fasting like 18 hours a day every single day. So like it's kind of challenging. You have to see like, how do you eat? For Joe to OMAD, it is really hard if you are only giving him like an hour or 2 to OMAD.
I hated it.
It's really hard on him.
Let's see.
Speaking of the animals in Noah's Ark, I see somebody's
That's because
nose.
Anthony just came home. Future Bree says, beef, bacon, and eggs were my go-to. Bacon and eggs was my staple diet growing up poor, along with charity cheese. I was so healthy. Yeah, I don't know. Somewhere along the line, we screwed everything up, right?
Well, I remember one of the first things that I would buy for myself once I had my own job and a car was fast food, was garbage food. That is what I would buy for myself. I would go and buy Oreos. We did not grow up with a bunch of Oreos. We grew up without a bunch of money. So,
right.
And Oreos cost money. We didn't have Doritos. We never had like cupcakes and stuff in the house. It was when we got money that we went out and spent, at least I did, on going out to eat and getting all the junk food that I never got at home. I was actually in a more healthy position when we were home, just eating those home cooked meals from mom than I did when I was on my own and like started to make some money in life.
Barbara said, I love cheese, but don't you get so constipated? Yeah, if I eat too much, I do get constipated, which is usually how I know I've eaten too much.
Yeah.
If you are getting constipated on keto, the first thing you should look at is, are you consuming enough salt and are you consuming enough fat? Those 2 things are the biggest. If you're deficient in those 2 things, that's usually the number 1 thing that's causing you to be constipated, starting with salt.
Yes.
Salt and consuming enough fluids. Those things combine. When you are low on sodium, your body is going to hold on to it, and water chases salt. So if it's holding onto the sodium, it's going to hold on to the water. If you consume more salt along with just drinking some regular water, if you overconsume the salt, it'll flush it out. But the number 1 place that your body gets rid of salt and preserves it is out of your poops. If you're getting like the rabbit turds or constipation, I know, TMI, a lot of times that is sodium.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that salt and fat has been more effective than prune juice and vegetables ever had been for me in the past. Like, it's interesting.
Future Bree said, then I was told add grains and vegetables and I gained 95 pounds over 25 years. Going back to teen years, but adding meat.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Let's see.
Blue Dove says, save some roller coasters for Friday and Saturday. We will miss out on Universal on Thursday.
Yeah, I think the big day is Friday.
Yeah, I think Friday is when we're actually going to Universal.
SG Wong said, I used to be that person at work who was always eating, grazing all day.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely, me too.
Lisa said, yay, Rachel. Yes, Rachel, I am surrounded. Thanks, Rachel. I really enjoy it all and want to be an influence to my coworkers.
I know you
but
are.
Just hope I don't pick up their bad habits. It will definitely be a challenge.
You won't, Lisa. I really believe that you're going to be such a blessing in your workplace, and you are going to help turn them and not them turn you.
Let's see. Cindy said, it's like Maria Emmerich said, people support these quitting ally and drugs, but cutting carbs is extreme. Okay. I don't know what that's referring to. Then she said alcohol, I meant. If you have a question on alcohol, the biggest thing is if you're trying to lose weight on keto, alcohol is not a good idea, even 0 carbs, because it's going to, your body's going to deal with that before metabolizing fat or any carbohydrates. So, Common said, can you taste the organ meat in the ground beef? No. Which
is how I like it. I like to not know it's in there. I like it to be a big, fat, hairy mystery.
Let's see. Michelle said, I started keto for autoimmune. I lost 70 pounds as a happy side effect.
Michelle, I love that. That is awesome.
Juju is making our chili tomorrow, but I'm going to add some smoked pulled pork from the freezer instead of the ground pork. So beef, pulled pork, and bacon. Ooh. That's what's cool about it is it is really, really like versatile.
Doesn't that sound like something you would want from like a food truck? At like some swanky beach party, right? I mean, that sounds so good. Like the pulled pork and the like that's a fancy go out meal, right? That's so fun.
Yeah. Terry said, do you keep your same eating window when doing beef, butter, bacon, and eggs? We change our eating window up because I do believe that your body likes change. You don't want it to get used to anything.
Yeah.
So we change it up. And if you go back to our old beef, butter, bacon, eggs, there were days where we ate breakfast and we ate lunch and we ate dinner. There were days where we didn't eat until 6 o'clock. The biggest thing that we learned out of beef, butter, bacon, and eggs is to eat to our body instead of to our watch. Prior to that, it was always eating to our watch. Looking at our watch going, it's time to eat, or looking at our watch going, you're not allowed to eat yet. The problem with that is you're not in touch with your hormones.
No.
When you just kind of go, oh, I'm hungry, and your body says, you need some breakfast today, go ahead and eat it, we ate it. On the days where we didn't feel hungry, we didn't eat.
One of the real blessings of beef, butter, bacon, and eggs is getting in touch with my hunger hormones once again and learning to trust myself. I think that if you've ever had, extreme obesity like I did for decades, I did not trust myself anymore. And that is not a good relationship to have with yourself. It's not good to be like, I have to eat to a watch because I can never trust, like every craving that I have is a lie because I'm a terrible person. Like that's how I lived for decades, never trusting myself. And that is just not a good recipe for loving yourself. And I think that in order for you to meet your health goals, you have to forgive yourself for the past. You have to let go of the guilt and shame that went with some of my past decisions with eating. And I have to be able to move forward and decide that I am partnering with this young lady I see in the mirror. And moving forward, we're going to trust each other.
Right.
But that's a trust that has to be built.
Rhiannon said, when I eat beef, butter, bacon, egg, I found my taste buds change and I really like the flavor of meat more. My favorite lunch became ground beef, 2 eggs, salt, and butter. It was the most delicious meal ever.
Isn't that strange? It's like you just have to allow yourself to embrace it. And honestly, I think it takes an extended time with it because I think the first couple of days, you're all automatically like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And until you're like, we're in it. So we need to make it work. Then that's when you get the most out of it. Because there's times when we've done challenges and it's only been like 5 days or 7 days. It was just enough time for us to say like, yep, we did it, but we're not like happy about it. You can go back to when we did the egg challenge, remember? Joe was ticked off through that entire 7 days. Right. I think that he saw a very quick, fast beginning and end to this challenge. I think that your attitude, I'm not pushing you to do this, but I'm saying that I think your attitude would have been a little different if you're like, we're going to be in this for a month. I'm going to have to make peace with it. I can't be angry all month long.
Eggs for a month.
I know. But I'm just saying, don't you think that sometimes you need to give a challenge more than just 5 or 7 days in order for it to really sink in.
If you're really looking for a cleanse and elimination diet, it should be at least 14 days.
Yeah.
Sherry said, I just cannot do only 2 meals. I'm an athlete that trains hours every day. But you have to figure out what fits for you. For you, it might be 3 meals. You're also super fit, okay? So a lot of us are still trying to lose weight we're in a different situation. But we still, even as athletes, if you look at somebody like Robert Sykes or something, he doesn't eat all day long. He eats in a smaller eating window, 2 or 3 meals a day.
He may be eating
more
than us.
He eats a lot more in those meals, but he still isn't eating a tremendous amount.
What I love about keto is it's not a moo-moo. It's not one size fits all. That's why it has to be Sherry Keto or Rachel Keto or Joe Keto, because it's got to be what works for you.
Paul, thank you very much for the $2 super chat. Said driving to Keto Palooza, set the GPS to avoid tolls.
Yay! We're so excited that you're going to be there.
We're going to be getting off in a minute. CC Comp said, I love going to the doctor now too. My EGFR went from 57 to 64 since I started keto 3 years ago. I've stopped caring about losing weight. I'm all about getting and staying fit and healthy.
I feel like if you have that attitude about it, you're going to enjoy the journey more. If your only navigational tool for keto is the scale, you're going to be very frustrated because the scale goes up and down and up and down. Like, at least I would say use the scale like Bronson and like, who else was talking about the scale when we were in Utah? Was it Kim? That was talking about like using it to look at trends. Use it like as a tool to look at the big picture. Don't just stay in a bubble where it's only like in the 24 hours.
Yeah. So Janet said, if your electrolytes has no sugar in it, it does not spike insulin. If you are drinking an unsweetened one. So some people, a lot of people, especially if you were insulin resistant or had type 2 diabetes, have experienced something called the cephalic phase insulin response. What is that? If you even taste something sweet. Some people say even if you smell it, not much you can do about that.
Yeah.
But if you taste something sweet, your body will temporarily release a little bit of insulin in preparation to deal with the sweet thing that it thinks it's coming in. Now, it will quickly get over that when it realizes it doesn't get that sweet thing that it needs to release the insulin for. But there's no way of measuring our insulin. So there's really no way of knowing how much of a cephalic insulin response you are experiencing other than testing yourself and seeing in the way of, how am I doing? Like, for a long time, not having anything sweet, and then maybe trying something sweet and seeing what happens with the scale and how you feel. There's no way to really test your insulin unless you're going to the doctor and having your insulin tested, but you can't test it at home. So if you're just doing unflavored Redmond, unflavored Element, Keto Chow drops, the capsules, the tablets, you're right. That will not elevate insulin. But if you're doing ones even sweetened with stevia, there is a chance you are having an insulin reaction. Now, with that being said, as I said to my good friend Anthony, when he was doing beef, butter, bacon, egg, he was like, I can't do the unsweetened electrolytes. And I said, then put the sweetened electrolytes back in.
Yeah.
Because you need to get your electrolytes in. If you're low on potassium, if you're low on sodium, that can actually make you gain weight as well.
And I think you have to know yourself in that way. Anthony is like, we've been privileged to get to know him more, and he is a super disciplined guy. So like, there was zilcho chance that he was going to, once he added in like the sweetened like electrolytes, that he was going to add anything else sweetened. But sometimes people, like, if you're somebody like me, and it can be a slippery slope, if I add anything in with stevia, I start to give sanctuary to stevia in other things. And now it's not just beef, butter, bacon, and eggs for somebody like my personality. It's beef, butter, bacon, and eggs and sweetened coffee. And then it's like a little bite of a snack. And then it is this, and then it is this. Like, it expands. So if you know, hey, all I need is the sweetened electrolytes, and that's where I'm going to keep it, and I'm not going to touch anything else during this challenge, then, you're going to have success with it.
Paul wants to know, how do you determine leptin resistance? So we are not doctors, nurses, or health professionals. I am just now doing a lot of studying on leptin, and the best thing, I'm going to recommend the same thing Dr. Barrier does, and that is go Google leptin.
Yeah.
And leptin resistance.
Google is your friend.
Yes. Let's see. Janet said, we didn't either, Rachel. There were 7 of us in our family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. It's the same thing with chewing gum. One of the reasons chewing gum can be an issue, when we were talking to Siobhan.
Yeah.
Is that when you start activating your saliva glands, that starts things with your insulin too. So, thing in the vlog about not getting to bed until 11 p.m. on live.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why we're getting off in a minute. I'm just checking.
Do I still play the Oculus? If so, what games? Great workout. Yes, I love it. Beat Saber is my favorite. I will say that we recently came in contact with a new game thanks to the Bears when we went to visit them, that we're getting to play. It's more like a Jackbox game.
Yep.
It was called Acorns. And basically, like, I really liked it because more people can play it. So one person plays it with the Oculus, and they are a tree that is throwing acorns and at squirrels that are trying to steal their acorns. And
right.
So you can play it with multiple players. They just need to have like a phone, or they need to have like a tablet or something like that. That was a really fun game. That's definitely like my game of the month this month.
Brian said, I agree with longer challenge as long as it is not eggs. Love them, but nope. I'm totally with Joe on this one.
Joe is like, if I just say egg only challenge, you watch him, like all of a sudden he like just starts building a wall.
Blue Dove said, I've noticed I will forget my unsweetened electrolytes much more easily. Got a small pill box to carry the Redmond hydration in my purse.
Nice.
Brianna said she uses the unsweetened Element and Relight. The sweetened ones don't raise my blood sugar, but they do wake up my sugar cravings.
Yeah.
I find myself circling the kitchen like a shark.
That's good to know.
Stevia generally will not raise your glucose, but you could be having an insulin reaction.
But if you're
but there's no way of knowing.
But that is such a good point to bring up. And again, every single person is different. And I love that you're sharing that, hey, when I taste something sweet, if I'm trying to push down my sweet tooth, this is not helping me do that. Yep. If it is a sweetened electrolyte, because I get a sweet taste in my mouth and then I'm looking for other things that are sweet. Yep. And sometimes I have to be careful with that. Like if I have a sweet taste in my mouth, then I'm like, okay, where are the ice chips? Okay, when are we gonna have an ice cream? Okay, and then I have to make sure, hey, am I trying to have more sweet things in my mouth than savory things? Because my goal is to have my fuel be more savory things, right, like beef and butter and eggs and bacon and, you know, all kinds of like meat and stuff, even vegetables. But why am I always reaching for a sweet thing? It's because I have a sweet tooth. So I need to do what will propel my particular health needs.
Yeah. Let's do one more.
One more.
Winner is Jennifer. Said type 1 diabetic. I use the Redmond solely salt, keto chow electrolytes, and mineral drops in my coffee, and I can't stand anything sweet in my coffee, where CGM 25 years does not move on my blood sugar.
Well, you just won some keto chow. So you could also give it away if you would like.
Yep. Okay.
But send your email to joe@twocrazyketos.com with your information.
Yep. Yeah, Keto Annie said, Google is not always your friend. Chrissy Davis shared a picture she took trying to get an identity on an animal. It's either a mangy coyote or a
Koopa Google told it was a donkey.
Nice.
Very nice.
Okay, we are going to get off. I did want to let everyone know, even though we'll remind you guys later on next week, next Sunday, not next Sunday, not this Saturday, next Saturday, which is...
Dun, 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 will be May.
It will be May. The date of that is May 8th, or May 7th.
May 7th.
The day before Mother's Day, will be the Patreon and Upper Channel supporter live stream. More information on that coming next week. But just letting you guys know that will be coming not this Saturday, the following Saturday.
And next Wednesday, can you check and see? I think it's May 5th, but since you've got the calendar up already, is it May 4th? May 4th. May 4th will be...
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you, because we will be together. If you are available and interested in...
Rachel running a live stream by herself.
Oh my gosh, that's what she said. Then join us for Atomic Habits on Wednesday, May 4th at 5 o'clock.
Okay. Oh, by the way, next Wednesday, I should have my partial dentures.
Ooh, something. May the 4th be with you, sir.
Yeah, then there won't be a big gap over
And also anymore. With you.
Then we move on to the bottom. Oh, and I get an extraction on that day, so I will not be joining you on a live stream.
So it will be me.
Yes.
Y'all pray.
Have a great night, everybody.
We love you.